The cemetery, behind its discreet neighbourhood walls, appears as one of the strange and last shelters of dreams and illusions, of that which is different and unknown, of that which is extraordinary and magic. Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. GV here again. So today I'm in Tomhaggard in County Wexford, and there's a lovely little grotto and memorial garden just here, so I'm going to show you around the garden. Now I'm using a new mic today, so I hope it works and you can hear the video and the sound is okay. So this is the memorial garden grotto area here in Tomhaggard. Beautiful little pond there, and they've all these colourful flowers in the middle of the flower bed, and it's a beautiful little area. We have some swans here that don't move, fake swans, beautiful though. So I'm just going to take you around. And there's a name on that stone altar, or granite altar, there that says Saint Anne on it. And I'm not sure if they actually say Mass here in this little area. And just across the road from here is a superb old graveyard, so I will be taking you in there and we'll have a look around the old graveyard also. So there's that lovely grotto. And people come in there and light their candles. You can see there's an old well just there. Saint Anne, pray for us, erected in 1930, it says on that. And we have some memorial benches here in love and memory of Paddy McGee. So just while I was sitting here, guys, I came up with this thought. I was just thinking about this area here, how beautiful this area is. You have all that stream that goes all the way around into the middle there. And then you also have this little area here. And I was just thinking, wouldn't this area make a beautiful memorial garden for people's ashes? Can you just imagine people's ashes buried all along on either side, and maybe in around that water feature area there, that tree, that willow tree? Wouldn't it be beautiful if people had all this area here for their loved ones to be interred, their ashes, people that get cremated? I just think it would be lovely. And it was just a thought as I was sitting there, just finished up doing the area here, and I thought I'm just going to add it in the video to show you people how beautiful this garden is. And there's even an area in here, and that flows down, all that stream flows down along, and look at all the space you have here that people could put all their loved ones there, ashes. And a beautiful statue of Our Lady, look. People can light candles there. And this goes up along here. So that's where all the water comes from. Right down through there. It flows all the way down this stream down into this garden area, memorial garden, with that beautiful tree. Look at that. This tree was planted in memory of Saint Pope John Paul II. So it's just a quick thought. And an idea that maybe I thought they could have made this into a lovely garden here for people's ashes. The beautiful walkway coming in. So there we go, guys, just a thought. Let me know what you think in the comment section underneath. So I'm just going to leave the memorial garden area, and right up there you can see on the hill is the old graveyard. So we will go in there now and we'll have a read of some of these old headstones. And this is a plaque outside the graveyard wall. It says, dedicated to the memory of those from this parish who fought and died in 1798 for Irish freedom. And that's the 1798 rebellion, if some of you don't know. And there's just a church over there across the road, and there's a little bell tower on it. And I think there's only a small number of graves in there, but I might add that onto the video. So we have these lovely stone steps that take us up into this beautiful old graveyard here on top of the hill in Tomhaggard. A lovely cemetery cat. Psst, 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 psst. Psst, 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 psst. In the heat, aren't you? In the heat. Right, so I'm here in the old graveyard here in Tomhaggard, and there's some beautiful old stones, as you can see there behind me. So we'll go around now and we'll read a couple of these old stones, and I think some of these could be connected to Loftus Hall. There's a grave in here connected to the old haunted house that was in Loftus Hall. Some beautiful old stones here. You can just see all those engravements on them. This is erected by Richard Murphy of Milltown in memory of his son Robert, who died the 10th of February 1872. Aged only 26 years old. Also his father Thomas is there, and he died in 1874, which would be 2 years after his son died and passed away. See the old lichen on those, orange lichen. Lovely Celtic cross design here, erected by John Hayes in memory of his father John Hayes also, who died February the 10th, 1880, aged 85 years old. And his daughter Johanna, who died in 1815, aged only 3, I think, years old. You can see just there. And his wife Bridget, who passed away in 1882, I think that is, or 9 maybe. aged 86 years old. So lovely old Celtic cross. Another one here next door to that. Look at that stone cut of Jesus and the Sacred Heart. Isn't that beautiful? Loving memory of John Madden, who died in 1936, age 87, and his wife Anastasia Madden, who passed away in 1947, aged 91 years old. So a super age. And unfortunately the top has broken off this headstone, and you can just see the top part of it there. So hopefully somebody will come along and try and fix that. So just make my way in the back, because I've spotted one in here that's really nice. You can see the face of Jesus here, and this one again in the old orange lichen. Look at that stone cutter's work, erected in loving memory of Mary Fitzpatrick, who died in 1939, aged 75 years old. Beautiful old headstone. So it's a really nice old graveyard, and you can just see down over straight ahead is the old memorial garden and the grotto that I've been to a couple of minutes ago. So it's just across the road, and it's really nice. A lovely shape headstone here. Here lies the body of Mary Murphy, who departed this life in 1785, aged, and that could be 30 years old. I love those old headstones, the shape of them. You can see there's some old and new ones here, and the old ones I really like because some of them hold up very well in time and others don't. Now here in this one we can see some structure of maybe a church or cathedral, it looks like there, and that. And the other side up the top we have the sun, the moon, and the crucifixion scene just there in the middle. And here lies the body, it says, of Margaret Walsh, wife to, could be Matthew Walsh, who departed this life April the 13th, 1795, aged only 26 years old. How sad that these people lost their lives back in 1795, only 26 years old. And that's the old church ruined there, all the old ivy on it. Now just inside the old church area here is some very spectacular old graves, absolutely gorgeous in here. And just in the middle we can see that big vault or monument there. And this chest tomb here with the red brick, someone has left fresh flowers on the top, so people are still coming here, which is nice to see, leaving flowers and stuff. More flowers on this beautiful one here. There's that old church window. Now this one here is Stunning. Look at this. And there's pieces missing off it. But you can just see here, it's the crucifixion scene of Jesus. And you have the Sacred Heart. And look at all that stonework and design that's gone into this headstone. Even down the bottom there you can see the work that has gone into it. Really nice. I hope there's something written on the other side of it that I can read. So this is what's on the other side of it, of the crucifixion scene. And there's that church in the background. Thy will be done. And we have the cross. Sacred to the memory of John Heron Mulrankin, who died the 7th of August 1888, aged 79, and also his wife Johanna, who died in January 1876, aged 49, and their daughter Mary is also buried here. She died in 1857, aged only 16 months old. So there's a husband and wife and a daughter buried here. And what a beautiful headstone that is. The workmanship that went into that. Now, I'm going to try and read this quite large one here. Monument. And it says on it there, pray for the souls of Matthew Mailer, who died in 1895, and also his son Brian, who died in 1923. And look at that angel statue. Wow. I'll have to have a look at that in a minute. Now there's some more inscriptions here on the other side of this large monument. Beneath are buried the mortal remains of Thomas Mailer of Ballyhealy, who died the 23rd of March 1763, aged 67, and his wife Mary, who died the 6th of April 1776, aged 80, and also their son Thomas, who died in 1778, aged 50 years old. And then there's a daughter Mary, who died in March 1791. Aged 24 years old, and of his wife Ellen, and her name was McCormack before she married, and she died on the 11th of July 1811, aged 80 years old. So what a super monument. Look at that. And it could be a vault, guys, I'm not quite sure, but it does have the look of a vault on it. There's a number of people buried there, a lot of people buried there, because there's more inscriptions. If I can get in here, I'll show you. Pray for the Kate, beloved wife of Patrick, who died in 1870, aged 50, and also Patrick, who died in 1873, aged 70 years old. So quite a number of people buried just there. Now at this grave here, and I think it's belonged to this stone angel I was looking at here, Eliza Mailer. Sweetman. Nee Sweetman, who died the 14th of November 1913. Also Matthew. And just at the end of the grave, we have this beautiful stone angel. Look at that. And she's holding like a little shell in her hands. Now what that depicts, I'm not quite sure. If anybody knows, please comment underneath. But nonetheless, look at that. All the old lichen on it. Beautiful stone angel. Now just here is the grave I was mentioning earlier, with connections to Loftus Hall. And Loftus Hall in County Wexford, if nobody has heard of it before, is an old mansion of a house right beside the sea that was extremely haunted. And it's closed up at the moment. There's renovations going on. I think they're going making it into a hotel, the new owner that bought it. But just here at this grave, we see here, in memory of Reverend John Busher, chaplain, Benedictine Convent, Loftus Hall, who died on November the 10th, 1930, in the 73rd year of his age and the 49th of his sacred ministry. Erected by, in grateful remembrance by people of the Hook district whom he lived among for 13 years. So there we have Reverend John Busher, who was a chaplain at the Benedictine Convent, Loftus Hall. And there is an old chapel in Loftus Hall, and I have been there before to do some tours, and it is extremely haunted. Look at that old arch there. There was probably an old window at one time, just in there. And just beside Reverend Busher's, we have, in loving memory of the very Reverend Nicholas Mailer. So Mailer is a popular name, as we've read on the previous stones. Parish priest, martyred during the celebration of Mass, Christmas morning. Wow, 1653. Look at that, guys. You can just see it there, 1653. So he martyred during the celebration of Mass, Christmas morning, 1653. So this place has some great history. This old part of the church here inside. Look at that old, like a holy water font. Just kind of a window design there, and I'm sure there was holy water in that, or maybe a small little statue. Another old one here, Thomas Ray, who died March 1887, aged 80 years old, and his wife Elizabeth died in 1887. Also, she died the same year, aged 75. Now, she died in March. So there we go, guys, again now, and that's why I love doing these videos and finding these unique headstones and inscriptions that's on them, because you just don't know what you're going to find. And just as we can see here, Thomas died on the 11th of March 1887, and his wife Elizabeth died on the 27th of March 1887, same year and same month. So very little between those two when they died. And as I've always said, you know, people that pass away, husband and wives, are very close, the dates together. You know, some people die from a broken heart because one can't live without the other, unfortunately, and it's sad. But they're together again. Lovely Sacred Heart here in this. Richard Pierce, 1919, age 76. So I'm going to take you back out, guys, and we will look further afield. There's all those lovely monuments that I was reading as I come in the centre of this old church part. So we will walk around this direction here. So it's quite a big old graveyard. There's a number of people buried here. Nice large plot here. Erected, and the writing, there's a hole in it there, so the writing has gone off that. In memory of his uncle Walter Sinnott of the island, who died in 1874, aged 76. Also the above named Walter Sinnott. So it was erected by Walter Sinnott in memory of his uncle with the same namesake. Walter, who died in January the 1st, 1882, aged 56, and also his son Joseph, who died in August the 14th, 1878, aged only 5 years old. A beautiful headstone there. Now, I've never seen these before, and if anybody knows, because I know there's a lot of people on my channel that know a lot about plants and stuff. So I've never seen these before, growing right up, 3 of them, out of this old grave. And I'm not quite sure if anybody knows what they are. Please let me know, because I've never seen them. They're very, very strange looking, and they're just grown right up in the middle of this old grave here of Margaret Sinnott, who died in 1861, aged 23, and her husband Nicholas, who died in 1878, aged 50. So there we have 3 of those strange looking plants grown up out of the middle of the grave there. It's a beautiful headstone. Look at all those fresh flowers. People keeping their grave sites lovely and tidy. Beautiful colours in them. In loving memory here of Philip Mullins, who died the 21st of April 1905, aged 49, and his brother Richard died the 4th of August, same year, 1905, aged 51. His aunt died in 1907, aged 86. His sister Maggie died in 1908, aged 41 years old. So a number of family members there from 1905 to the same year. 2 brothers died, and then an aunt died just 2 years after that. So a lot of tragedy in the family. But just look at that headstone, and we can see Our Lady in the middle of it there. Isn't that beautiful? And some of these still have the lovely old writing on them. Look at this. The inscriptions on these are for the year are unbelievable. How they haven't faded away. Here lies the body of Richard Mullins, who departed this life on the 16th of November 1833, aged 52, and also the body of his son William, who departed this life on the 14th of February 1835, aged only 16 years old, and his wife Eleanor passed away in 1844, aged 59 also. Beautiful writing and inscription on that old headstone. Lovely Celtic cross design here, white headstone. Erected by Patrick R. Hayes, Tomhaggard in memory of his three dearly beloved daughters. Lizzie died December the 5th, 1891, aged 16 years old. Maggie Ann died February the 27th, 1893, aged 18 years old. And Maria died on December the 30th, 1896, aged only 19 years old. Very, very sad and tragic once again. A man who lost three beautiful daughters, Lizzie, Maggie Ann and Maria, from 1891 up to 1896. So in the space of 5 years, he lost three daughters, only 16, 18 and 19 years old. Terrible, tragic. And I'm sure these people back in the 1800s died from sickness. You know, they could have had a fever or cholera or, you know, any disease like that back in the day. But unfortunately there was no cure or medication like there is these days for curing people. So rest in peace to the Hayes girls. So I'm just going to go down and we'll read some of these old wrought iron railing ones here. Look at these ones. It's an old Celtic cross. And there's that plant again that's growing right up all the way through that grave. Look at that. There must be some form of weeds or something like that. You can just see them there. And it's hard to read these, but I think the name is Bridget. Could be Cod. 1860. Passed away in November 1860. John Fortune is also buried there. But look at that old railing going around. The wrought iron, rusty old railings in it. And some of them have just these white crosses with no inscriptions for markers. Some nice flowers here. Michael Brady died the 29th of December 1958, aged 75. His daughter Peggy passed away in June 1986, aged 55. So there you can just see in the background that old church where we were not too long ago reading those beautiful headstones. The old church ruined there. So at the back of the old graveyard we have all these stone markers for people unfortunately who don't have any inscription on them. Quite a number of them in this area here. And down in the corner of the old graveyard we just have these stones here and a stone cross. Another cross here, no inscription. So you can just see all around there, all those old markers, stone markers for people, you know, who couldn't afford a headstone. And times were hard back then. People were dying very young from sickness and illness and all kinds, and couldn't afford to bury their loved ones with a proper headstone. This is an iron kind of cross here, and it's Celtic design, and someone has painted this with a grey paint, and it's really nice, in loving memory of Lizzie Hughes, who died the 25th of August 1943, aged 51. Mary Furlong, who died in 1967, aged 78 years old. Beautiful Celtic cross design, and it's nice to see these touched up and painted, and people are still looking after these grave sites. Another old iron cross. Anne Keane, who died on March the 16th, 1924, aged 74 years old. And there's a piece here that has broken off, unfortunately. It just says, in memory of John Keane, who died on April the 10th, 1897, aged 52. I'm presuming that would go right in there. So I'm just going to stick it back in there and hope it stays there. So it looks some way better. There's another little garden here at the end of the graveyard, a memorial area, so we'll go in and have a look at that memorial area. Lovely black cross, this in memory of James Dial, who died July the 3rd, 1903. Black cross on it. Lovely headstone. Treasured memories of Willie Lawler, 1948 to 2011. And all those lovely fresh flowers there. Now I do want to take you in here and show you this beautiful old memorial garden. And it's just enclosed off here, this fenced area. And there's that old graveyard. To the memory of all those who lost their lives off our coast and are interred in this cemetery, rest in peace. Opened by Hugh Byrne, TD, Minister of State. So that's a memorial stone there for all the people that lost their lives tragically, who drowned. And we can just see the old cross there, which kind of looks like they've taken that from the graveyard and just left it here. Maybe it was broken. So I wouldn't think there's nobody actually buried in this area here. But you have this old, well, not old, but an oar and an anchor. So that's for all the people that lost their lives, who drowned tragically on the sea. So they made this lovely little area here in memory of all those people. So rest in peace to all those people who lost their lives tragically at sea. Some more stone markers all in the middle there, look at that. I don't know if there are people that lost their lives at sea that are buried just there. There's another couple of headstones at the back of the old church here, and you can see the window that's covered in ivy. There's more of those old headstones there. We have a grave area there that's railed off. Iron railing all around it. And it looks like it's Joseph. Joseph is the name in there. Joseph Day, 1942, age 61, and his wife Mary died in 1971, age 82, and their daughter Mamie, 1988. So it's all the one family buried in around all this railed off area there. Lovely old ones. Another one here. Here lies the body of William Sinnott, who departed this life on March 1805, I think, aged 51 years old. Look at that old headstone designs. Some more old wrought iron railings. There's that monument I was reading inside the church. All the old church area. So guys, maybe read one or two more and we can wrap up the video. So on that note guys, I'm going to wrap up the video there, and thanks very much once again for coming along on this beautiful sunny day here in Tomhaggard, County Wexford, on this graveyard walk. So if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, hit the notification bell and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you all on my next cemetery adventure. Take care guys, God bless.